morning. My name is Corey, and I'm here to do a little yoga 101 with you. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I like to have handy. One is, of course, music. Lighting, I like to have it a little soft and relaxing for me. While I'm talking, I'm screaming. I also am very have love essential oils, so today is my hand living choice, and I'm going to do some calming. Doesn't need some decent calming right now with all this quarantine stuff, because I sure do. So I'm just going to take like a drop or two, and I'm just going to drop it and have to touch it. They also have some steel balls that you can use and replace it so it's constantly sanitized. So over here, rub my hands together, and I'm going to take a couple inhales and exhales right as I cup my hands right over my face, and I'm going to hover so it doesn't burn my eyes or cheeks. And you can see what peace and calming brings to it. Good morning, Raja. This is Raja. Her birthday was yesterday. Just to be the star. So as I inhale, I really want to fill my rib cage and sit tall. I just sit comfortably and relax the shoulders. And then I'm just going to exhale. Calm, inhale, and exhale. Calm and short. I'm just going to take my hands and rub across my chest. Get that oil in so when I'm moving around, I feel like a gentle baby. Okay, have my hair tied back. Tie it back a little bit tighter this morning. Not the fashion police for hair today or any fashion police, okay? This is Yoga 101. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about yoga and who should be doing yoga, who can be doing yoga. Really, anybody who's flexible should be doing yoga. Sitting here like this, watching TV, sitting on Zoom with my legs down, it's cutting off all the circulation. You know, I'm used to being mobile, teaching fitness, and just sitting like this in mermaid. You know, if you have knee injuries, you're like, oh, no, I can't. It takes a while to retrain those muscles, those ligaments back into those positions and stretch, because they are shrinking with a lack of oxygen and blood. So if you have high blood pressure or any eye pressure, the last thing you want to be doing is anything inverted. So downward dog is not something that you need to be doing, okay? You can do tabletop. Tabletop, you still don't want to be down here, okay, because your head is below. So anybody who has injuries, just, you know, really take your time, body, and you it, because it's been a while. The stress and anxiety that's going around too now. So first thing that I would say is, let's start off just on laying. I'm going to lay down. I'm going to interlock my hands and just roll down. I'm going to keep my knee in, just roll down like a rocker. Oh, and you notice how it just went boom. Because my back is stiff. I have a lot of injuries. So I'm just going to wiggle around and pull my hips away from my shoulders. Try to get some length in my spine. Making sure my knees stay over my hips. I'm just going to windshield wiper those legs. And I'm going to come to center. Lengthen my neck and shoulders. I'm going to put my hands on my ribs. Just at that bottom rib cage right there. And my fingers are going to lay right to where I can just hook onto that rib, right? But don't. You're just going to lay them right there. Okay? So I want to make sure my feet are just hip distance apart. I'm going to use my toes, so I'm going to wiggle my feet. Put my toes down on the ground like I'm playing the piano with those toes. I'm going to touch each one of them on the ground. And then I'm going to relax those legs. I'm going to press into the heels. And I'm going to release. Then again, I'm going to press into the heels. And I'm going to release. I just want you to feel those different sensations in your body. Sometimes pressing into the heels, especially if you have low back, but this is like I do, for kyphosis, it really helps to release that pressure. Why? Because you're tilting that pelvic floor as you press the heels into the ground. So it does release some pressure. So if you're one of those that just likes to go, just let it all hang out, well, you're going to have a lot of leg, back, and feet issues. So, and well, you have issues with everything, arms, neck, you name it. Because it's like it's all connected. So, okay, hands at the ribs. Then press into the heels and release. Now, I don't want you to tilt the pelvis. I just want you to press into the heels. Just feel that little release and release. Now, I want you to exhale everything out. Blow up the air through the rib cage. As you inhale, expand the ribs. Watch how wide, how much the belly poofs out. You want it to come out towards the ribs. So make it slow. Hold it at the top when you think you can't take in any more air. And then let it out. Again, breathe in. Through the ribs. Through the ribs. Watch the bellies. Through the ribs. Take it in. Take it in. And exhale it. Adjust the shoulders. 2 more. Breathe in. Feel the sides of the body expand. And release. Last one, we're going to hold at the top. Hold it longer than we did before. Hold it. Take in some more air. And let it out. Nice. Let's take those hands down to the sides, out to a T. Palms up. We're going to open and close those fists. Roll the fingers out and in. Like you're saying, come here, come here, come here. Yep, just want to roll up those fingers. Make a fist and release. Windshield wiper those legs to the left and then to the right. Now, breath. Remember, we're breathing in through the ribs. Keep doing that. But I'm moving. How can I do that? Focus on the breath and not so much at the perfection of what you're doing. Allowing the breath to lead you to the side, the body to move gently, the muscles, ligaments, and tendons can connect. Some of us have torn ligaments and tendons and can't do some of this stuff. So really watch your range of motion, limit your ribs, and listen to your body most importantly. Okay, so from here, we're going to do what's called a little pelvic tilt. I'm just going to, hopefully you can see the movements here. So I'm going to take my fingers, I make like a little diamond shape, and put it here on top of my belly. So I should be at the top of my pubic bone, my hip bones, and right where my belly button is. Okay? And then from there, I am going to go ahead and press into the heels, tilting my pelvic floor up towards my belly button. Then I'm going to release down and lift my hip bones. Oh, sometimes that feels good. Inhale and exhale. And I'll hyperextend or overly dramatically. Just get it to where it feels good for you. Allow the breath. Just the neck when needed. That's fun. We're going to come what's called neutral. Relax the shoulders. Now from here, I want you to do a little kegel and then release. Now squeeze those glutes and release. Now squeeze the pelvic floor in and release. Now squeeze the P and gas in and release. I want you to be aware of those different sensations. And most of the movements, actually 24/7 on the should be the sensation of sucking in that P gas. You want to pull on the and up into the crotch area. Oh, that's not really nice way of saying that. Into your quadriceps and into those. I mean, it's all connected here. There's an array of muscles that connect to those lower abdominals, to the quads, to the glutes. We're all connected. So, especially if we're sitting all day, getting any kind of movement here into the bottom floor is really hard to do. So try to keep, especially if you have back pain, try to keep the sensation of pulling the ribs to the hips, keep those transverse abdominis working, and to keep those little corsets attached right here so that you're pulling tight and that you can take the pressure off that low back. And by the way, if it does bother you to lay here in that low back, you can always roll up a towel or put the hands under here just to give yourself some level. If that feels good, because it was really hard for me when I had to have the towel underneath here. I still have a little lordosis, but I can handle because I've built up some abdominals, so I can handle doing that. So anyway, back to yoga 101. So from here, we're going to do a couple of clocks. So I shouldn't see you doing this. It's not about that. We're just going to tilt from the inside, and we're going to use the abdominal muscles and the pelvic floor to rotate that pelvis. Okay? So we're going to start from here, hands down. You can keep it here so that you can feel that you're doing something. Okay? It should be a slight movement. I'm not saying you're not going to move at all. Some people who have really strong abdominals may not move. But for me, you'll see a slight movement. So from here, I'm going to exhale. I'm going to inhale to 6, 12, 9, 12, 6, 9, 9, 3, 6, 12, 12, 6, 12, 6, 9, 3, 6, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 9, 6, 3, 12, release. And then just rock side to side. So the reason why I'm bringing so much emphasis on my pelvic floor is because sometimes we have a lot of problems with leakage, if we have kids or not, or age or medications. There's just an array of reasons why we can't hold anything in. So really getting the sensation of having to hold the pain gas, and while you're doing it, kind of moving, especially standing or sitting, will really help. So we're going to bring one knee into chest, press the other knee away and into chest. So we're going to roll side to side. But the most important thing about yoga is really breathing. And it's really allowing the body and the breath to come together and to allow the movement to release into the muscles and the bloodstream, the heart, the brain, and the glutes, and the quads, all the way down to our little toes. Very important. So if you are flexible and you want to open those knees into happy baby, bring those knees into the armpits and set the feet up. You can hang onto the back of the legs, the shins, or the outside of the feet. Just remember not to lift the tailbone, to stay long in the spine. Make sure you're breathing. If you want to do a little flight, you can. Stay where you are. You can take a big toe wide stretch, take the feet down and stretch out those legs if that feels good. There's plenty of variations. for you. And again, breathing. I bring one leg down and then the other. I'm going to go side to side. So one of the things that I've noticed about sitting a lot is my hips. So I'm going to show you a couple of variations of hip openers, just for a 101 that you can do when you need to move around. Okay? So we're going to kind of break them down a little bit. So that was just pelvic clucks and pelvic tilts, just to relieve some of the pressure off that low back. And then just opening up the first hips with happy baby. So I'm going to bring, really depends on your flexibility. Remember, we have straps, we have bands, things that we can use. You can either keep that knee bent. I'm a little more flexible. So in my other videos, I have bands that you can use, and I'll show you how to use those in those videos. So refer to those. But for me, I'm just going to interlock that left. Those hands are right behind that left leg. And I'm going to press into that right heel. And from here, I'm just going to bend and straighten. And as I straighten, I want to flex that heel. So depending on your flexibility, okay, you're going to get a nice stretch in the back of that leg. But bring the toes towards you. So you can. Now, you don't have to hold on if you don't need to. I like to just bring it a little more closer to my chest, then I get a better stretch in the hamstring, the back of my leg, where my sciatica likes to flare up. So this is part one, I should say, of sciatica relief, because it really is all in the hips and literally getting off your tissue. Okay, I'm going to hold it up now. You'll see this is a lot in my videos, and I'm going to point and flex, because really articulating the leg and the foot and the low back and the abs are all connected. So I'm breathing in and out. Going as fast as you're breathing. And I don't want you breathing fast because you're hyperventilating and you'll get dizzy. And let's do some circles with the ankle. Other direction. All right, bend the knee. Straighten out that leg. Rock it side to side. Use that hip socket, that socket joint right there. Side to side. Try not to bend the knee. Flex the foot so you can get that whole leg to rock in that socket. All right, shake it out. I like that socket. All right. Right knee comes in. The interlock here. This is my tighter side because this is my more dominant side. It's really funny. So my ankle is also the one I broke. So my right foot is a little testy and it doesn't like to do what it's told to do. It likes to tell me what I should do. So, so from here, yes, it wants me to move the ankle around because it's mobility. All right. Wants me to wiggle the toes, point and flex. So sometimes, because of the lack of muscle from breaking my foot and being in a cast, and my leg having atrophy in those muscles, my injuries from past came back. Knee injuries, sciatica, name it. So I have to be very careful of how I move the body and allow it, my body and me to move together. So don't hear talking, but what it's doing. All right, so now we're going to hold that flex because I think it's right. And back here is already. So again, you can hold the band here and you can keep the feet bent. It's, you know, if you have really tight hammies, doing this is like, are you kidding me? There's no way I can do that. I'm like, right here. Well, then be there and move there. There's no law that says you can't be where you're supposed to be to start. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So I'm here, lengthen my spine, and I'm going to flex my foot, heel down, heel up. Stretch out the back of that leg. Breathe. Last one. Point and flex again. Roll that ankle around. And then nice and easy, I'm going to bend it. Bring it down, straighten it out. Rock and roll into that socket side to side. And that knee. So first part of hip opening, if you can cross that left leg over that right knee, it's a winner. You can also use a little stiffness today. Also use a paw in your feet before. Sometimes some people are super tight and they can't get that foot up. Whatever you have at home, put that foot on a block. Cross that leg. Okay? So, and again, you can use that strap in between the legs. I like to just bring the knees in. And then from here, I can already feel the tightness in that high teeth, that lower glute. Oh, that hammy. So I'm going to try to keep the feet flexed because that really engages the stretch here. And I'm going to breathe. I want you to notice I'm not pulling, hugging my legs. On the inhale, I breathe in, make sure I'm blowing up the balloon of my body. And then as I exhale, I just allow my body to melt into itself, no force. And I'm going to melt it down. I think the arms actually that block still. Get down on this right side as you drop that one. Or that block if you need, or no block. The trick here is to lift up the shoulder flat as you inhale. Fine. Exhale. So watch yourself. Full breath. On the inhale, like somebody's pulling the string. Those abs engaged, squeezing the peen gas and bringing those legs back. And then I'm going to gently unravel. Lengthen my spine. The blood first. Gain some length in that spine again. The front of the ears, and let's take the right leg over the left. And take a few breaths here. Breathe. Maybe that inside hip, like mine, is screaming. Maybe it's the IT man. And as you exhale, bring those legs in. Oh, la la, there it is. So, because of my sciatica, it is shooting pain from my legs and into my down into my feet. So both hips are. So we're going to do a lot of hip opener today to break that up. So when we're not moving, those scar tissue does tend to rebuild. It only takes a matter of time. Breathe. So your body should really be your friend, not your enemy. Open up those arms. We're going to go for a twist. Remember, you can use that block. Remember to wiggle the shoulders flat once you find a space. Gain length and that spine. Breathe in. Gaze opposite direction. Careful not to fall asleep in any poses. Lengthen that, unravel those legs. Hands up or down for receiving and grounding, and windshield wiper. Keep the heel gaps engaged slightly. I don't want to be like, okay? You don't have to be a superhero first time around, but it's coming. All right. So we kind of did a little bit of hip opening. Another good one is to come back into that happy baby and see how much wider you can get those knees, how much longer you can get that spine. And again, squeezing that pee and gas. And listen, if you're not breathing, the body's going to release, whether it's areas, it's going to make some noise. So, really important. Okay. I'm going to bring the knees in, dropping one leg down. I'm going to hook onto that left leg and roll myself. So what I like here is a little rocker, because it really massages like that. And I'm not just using my arms and legs, I'm using my abs. For my thoracic today, just screaming. Makes it a little hard to do a lot of the reps are rolled down. So we're going to do a little spine stretch. I can tell that because when I was trying to get up, my abs were like, ooh, gotta help with that. What's going on over there? Like, that hip just arms are going to come out. So really, all I'm going to do is rolling over a beach ball. Those giant beach balls in the 60s. You guys remember those? Bigger than the beach. All right, so I want to pretend like I'm hugging a tree, and I want my shoulders down and out. Pull the feet and gas it. Inhale. And exhale. Round over that beach ball. Inhale. And exhale, roll it back. Inhale. And exhale, roll it forward. Pull the bellies in. Try not to crunch like this. You're going over the beach ball. Shoulders melt down. Keep the feet long. Press into the mat and inhale back down. Not a giant movement, just a little bit. One more. And bring those arms down. Right, I'm going to turn towards you. And we're going to separate those feet just a little bit. And we're just going to do some spine stretch to the sides. Take my lateral moving because nothing is super tight today. It's kind of embarrassing. You know, that's what happens when you spend all day yesterday for meetings. Okay, so we're going to take that right hand down. My left hand's going to come up. And gently as my right elbow bends, I'm going to lift out of this left side and my right up and over a cactus that's right here. Not very far. And I want to keep my left hip down. I want to stretch out this left side. Watch that left shoulder. And then nice and easy, bring that left hand. Inhale, bring it up. Over that cactus. Shoulders under the ears. and gas in, and then you can just rotate. Okay, we were talking about high blood pressure, downward dog. I want you to listen to your body. If you have high blood pressure, that's not something you should do. Table talk. In this motion that we're doing here, you want to keep those hips down. They want to lift and lean over. Don't do that. You want that stretch there, and you want the shoulder under. You don't want to go with that. Remember, inhaling, and as you reach over, exhale. So even if you do start to do this, try to engage the shoulder. Try to bring it down. Try to remember that cactus. It's okay if you forget. Try to engage and remember it. Inhale back to center. Last set. Inhale. And exhale. All right. So we're just going to do a little spine twist. I'm going to come out like this. We're going to sit tall like somebody has a string. If it's too much to keep the legs straight, just bend the knees, okay? If you want to put something under the knees, it's always good. I have a bolster, or you can roll up a towel. Bolsters are good. Then I want to make sure I'm sitting tall, okay? So I'm just going to come here. Inhale tall. Exhale, stay taller. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Watch the shoulders. Inhale. And exhale. Back to center. All right. So that's just our little spine and hip warm up. So back with the bolster. So let me show you what tabletop is. So somebody with carpal tunnel will find that this is a little hard for them to do, like I did at first, because their muscles are not used to or any weight whatsoever in their hands. So find a position for those fingers that work. Sometimes I like to curl my fingers up a little bit and kind of make sure I use the outer rim of the to my hands, especially being perfect. You should have an L shape between the pointer and thumb, but I like to just adjust my hands to what's comfortable for me so that I can really separate my shoulders. The shoulders to separate my back there. All right, so knees are hip distance. So I'm just gonna inhale, keeping the pain gas engaged, step it out, separate the shoulders, squeeze down towards my hip. And then exhale, I really want to engage the belly, pull the belly button in as I exhale. Try to look into my belly button. That's the cat. So we're going to inhale the cat. And exhale the cat. So the best visual here I can give you is a cow and a Halloween cat. Really rounding that spine like a scaredy cat. Inhale. Exhale. For this next exercise, we're just going to keep the bellies moving. That's the only thing that's going to move. We shouldn't be rounding anything out. We're going to allow the belly to drop on the inhale, and exhale, we're going to squeeze it up. And we're going to want to round on the exhale like cat, but try not to. Okay? So we're just using the abdominals. So we're going to inhale with the belly falling towards the ground. And exhale, squeeze those out. Inhale. and exhale. I don't know if you can see my belly, but I will pull my shirt up for you. So inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to hold the knees wide. Big toes are going to touch, and I'm going to sit back in a child's pose. So this is a variation of child's pose. This is the one that I like, and that works for me. I'm going to breathe here and settle in on the exhale. Allow my belly and chest to fall in, and just where my booty hangs, it hangs. Now, if it's too much for one knee, do a one-legged child's pose. I have quite a few clients that have to do this because just one knee. I did that for a while, especially with my broken foot and my cast. Couldn't see. There was no way I can get her. So it's really straight. All right, so 2 more breaths. We're going to bring the hands, sit on them. So legs are still open. Come into that tabletop and adjust those knees back. So always remember, if you're coming in and out of poses, to come in and out of it slowly, okay? Because we were born, we haven't been doing this, I should say, in a long time. So we're going to tuck the toes, and we're going to walk the hands back. Now this might be a little painful for some, so if you have a towel or a block, you can roll it up, put it right here, so you don't go all the way back. The block isn't the best thing, but it's working. I would normally put a towel or a roller. And you're only going to stay here for a couple more breaths. Remember, keeping that P and gas squeezed in. Slowly roll. Hands down. Tuck the toes. Tap them out. So these are a few things that you can do to warm up the body, especially if you're 57 like you and you have a list of injuries, and it's, we haven't been probably eating the best of things, and I've chosen not to move for a few weeks. Maybe your job is still essential and you just stretch, take whatever you need from this video and do those. Make those your favorite. Honey, do those in the night before you go to bed. Just a couple of things just so the body can get some breath, because honestly, hold our breath so much. Always remember to move on the inhale and to settle. You settle in. You can stay somewhere if it feels good for a few breaths before you move again. Tap off those toes. All right, like I said, no downward dog for you, but if you feel like downward dog is something you want to do, let's do it. It's a full body stretch. We're going to tuck the toes and walk it out. So first time yogi people will be here like, or they'll be way out here. They'll be in almost a push-up pose and the hips won't be up. So you got to bend the knees and walk the hands in. And remember, push the earth up. So find a spot, get those knees bent and under the hips. Stand in front of the mirror, and then look at yourself, and then you can see where you're at. And really work on pressing the chest towards the thighs. So work on dropping the head down in between the arms. And then you can work on alternating those feet. You feel lightheaded? I wasn't feeling lightheaded. I'm just saying, if you feel lightheaded, you feel like you can't breathe, just make sure you come down into child's pose or a pose where you can catch your breath. Remember, the breath should be slow. In no way should you be. Okay, so just take it. You're going to feel that way when you're in downward dog. All right, let's pop back up, please. So we're going to come into what's called a forward fold ragdoll. I'm going to bend my knees, walk my hands back. And then I'm going to lay my belly on my chest. You know, my thighs. Just on my thighs. As I exhale, I'm going to drop the head. So I'm going to keep my knees back because my low back has injuries. And I'm going to keep the PFAS leading. I'm just going to drop the head and breathe. Allow the weight of my head. Just relax my spine. Say yes, please. Thank you. I don't know. Now, bending the knees, I'm going to use my abdominals and I'm going to roll up one vertebrae and then exhale at a time. Inhale, arms up. I'm going to exhale, backward down. So here, the hands engaged. Just open the chest. W with the arms, elbows in, hands out. Root down into those feet. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands and feet together. Inhale, arms up. What we're going to do is called a swan dive down, bend the knees. Always keeping that gas engaged. Inhale, arm. Halfway lift. Arms, hands come to the shins or to the thighs. Never on the knees. Try to imagine that I'm going to put a glass on your back. Flat. Exhale, forward fold. Took me 6 years to get that shot back, so don't be shocked. Press it into the hands. We're going to inhale, reach up, reach high, reach, stretch. Exhale, backward bend. Remember that beach ball? Move it up and over, but keep it engaged. Don't crunch back here. Reach, inhale. Hands come to center. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, you can forward fold or swan dive. Wherever you want to get down, make sure you exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale. Reverse the swan dive, breathe up. Reach up, reach high, get taller. Exhale, backward bend, keep the abs engaged. Exhale. Inhale. Try not to lock the knees. So now I'm going to come into what is called a warrior series. So warriors are really good hip openers, okay? So there's a couple of series that I know that I can do with some that I can't do with my band. So listen to your body. So let's stand into a nice mountain pose called Tadasana. So we're going to stand tall on our feet, heels, knees, hips, shoulders down, or reach the fingertips away. Squeeze that pee gas in, breathe into the body, and you forward. Blow up the balloon, and exhale. Feel the ground. Make sure your feet are planted. Use your toes. And from here, we're going to go arms up. Exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, flat the hands. And so let's step back with that right foot 90 degrees. Heel to arch alignment and cartwheel it up. Stop for the round. So what I mean by 90 degrees is the foot out. If that's too much, you can bring it in a little bit. Just watch the knee. Left knee should be bent over that ankle. And sometimes you can't get that knee over the ankle. So just really watch that knee. Check the light. It's blinking at me for some reason. So if you have any injury, watch that. But the point here is to open this up here, these muscles that we were talking about, that pelvic floor. So really press that knee out. Engage those feet. So just stand up nice and tall. Pull this right knee up and into the pelvic floor. Step right back up. Arms can be out. If you have a hard time with balance, keep them here. Breathe in and out. So I want you to imagine that pelvic floor like you have a saucer. You don't want it to be spilling out. So you want to tuck it in, tailbone goes down. Get longer in the shoulders, reach them away. And reach it up. Bend, straighten the left knee. And now bend it, bring it down. So when you get tired, what I like to tell my students in class is just do this. The arms think you're doing something different, and it totally takes the focus off of how you want to chop them off because they are burning right now. Okay? So if you give the body something else to do with the breath, it's like, oh, this feels good. Thank you. But what are you doing? You're still moving. So we're going to go into what's called a reverse warrior. Pressing into that left big toe. Arms are going to come out, reach away. And again, right knee still pulling up, pelvic floor tilting. Turn those palms up. Reach them away. Press into that left foot, and you're just going to tilt those arms up. Make sure that shoulder doesn't come up, and just reach that shoulder, let it melt down your ear. Right arm is just going to dangle. Not really doing anything but hanging out. So it can reach behind us, right? It can just hang out. You don't want any pressure on the knee. You can bring it around to this left hip and hook it on. Keep that knee bent. If it's too much, you can come out of it a little bit, but don't tilt that pelvic floor back. Keep that engaged. Shoulders out of the ears. Find a comfortable place. Allow the hips to open. Breathe. Inhale. And exhale, warrior two. Straighten it out. Ooh, and release. Straighten it out. So I would get really scared whenever I hear something pop in my body. Like, oh my God, something's popping and broke, it snapped. It's just your ligaments or tendons moving around. All right, from here, what are we going to do now? I'm going to reach it forward. I'm going to come into like a little lean. It's going to offset me a little bit. So I'm going to get my abs engaged. This is called a side angle. There's a couple of variations here. The block here for side angle. It's a really good hip opener here, but just be careful not to let the belly, gotta keep that engaged. Shoulder is nice and stacked. Feet are still moving. Mostly you're gonna feel it down on this left side, which is good. Well, everybody's gonna feel it in different places. Everybody's different. Breathe. Breathe. Other variation, just be careful not to stick the booty out. You want to pretend like you're between glass so the shoulders are in line. Press into that left foot as you exhale, bring it up. We're going to take it up, straighten out that left leg, and we're going to turn those left toes and right toes forward. Okay? So I'm going to adjust my legs. You see how I was doing it. I wasn't just be really careful when you adjust and your legs are out because the knees don't like it. Hear my hip pop already? So I already got my knees pop, my hips pop. Things are, you can hear things are getting oiled. Like I feel like the Tin Man, right? Okay, so the stance, watch the knees. My ankle popping. Oh my God. All right. So I just want you to watch the stance and again, pull that pelvic floor, tilt it in, squeeze the peak down. Shoulders are down, hands are at the hips. This is called goddess. We're just gonna try to sit comfortably, adjust those feet again. Make sure the knees are over the ankles. If it feels good to lift one heel, do so. And alternate. If it doesn't, don't. Breathe. Don't try to roll into it like that. Just try to keep the hips stable. Just use those ankles and those feet. 2 more. And nice and easy, press it on it. Inhale. And exhale, bring it down. You can bring those hands up into goddess. Inhale, bring it up. Straighten it out. Like a starfish, take up all kinds of space. Inhale. And exhale. Goddess. Try not to lean forward. Try to sit up tall. Inhale, reach. Get that space. And exhale, bring it down. Inhale. And exhale, bring it down. Again, breathe in. And exhale, bring it down. Hands to the hips. We're going to turn those right toes out, left toes back, 90 degrees. Warrior 2, other side. Again, take your time, find your stance. If it feels good to keep the hands here, keep them here. Having the legs spread wide and turning those one hip out is kind of scary. So your hips should be facing diagonally or out to the left, I should say, since our right leg is open. Left foot is 90 degrees. Right knee is traditionally over the right knee. Okay? And again, pull that left knee up into the thigh, into that pelvic floor. The right leg comes out, arms here. Release, breathe. Keep the toes, press into breathe. Inhale, reach. And exhale, breathe. Come on. Flip the palms, straighten it out. Ooh, bring it down. Straighten it out. So all these little snap, crackles, shakings, things that are happening in my body. The shaking is just the muscles trying to figure out what we're supposed to be doing. We're going to reverse it. Remember, keep that knee bent over that ankle. Turn those palms and just lift that right arm, shoulder out of the ear. Left arm relaxes, comes from behind or over to the other side. Between 2 panes of glass still. Keep that peeing gas in, shoulders out of the ears. So it's really scary, especially if you close your eyes. Really true balance. It really helps. So when I first started doing yoga, I was like, oh my gosh, straighten it out, bring it down. So we're going to go into that side angle, so you can take any variation that works for you. Okay, and again, you can use that block. So I'm going to keep that knee bent. I'm going to reach forward, bring that forearm down, left arm belly in, and I'm just going to sink into that hip. Breathe, keep gas in, breathe, pressing into my feet, lengthening the spine. If I wanted to, I can really work the abs here. And make sure you just cartwheel back up. Okay? Breathe in and out. Bring those hands to the hips, turn those toes out, heel toe it back in. And for some reason, these yoga socks don't like it right now. Adjust them. I think it has to do with me being on the carpet, which I'm not used to wearing these on the carpet. I'm used to running around gyms and adjusting people. Okay, so make sure you take your time. Adjust those knees out. And sometimes, you know, I come out of my pose and I actually have to walk around like, oh my Jesus. I mean, like, are you kidding me right now? So feel free to just do whatever feels good and come back in. You know, it's your body. You know what you feel. I don't. All right. Coming back into that goddess, just a few more of these. We're going to inhale and exhale. Reach. Inhale, breathe in. And exhale. Press the heels into the ground. Inhale. And exhale. So that pelvic floor, all those muscles down here should be working. That sling should be working. Pull it up. So you want to imagine that pelvic floor coming up to the ribs coming into the pelvic floor, utilizing all those muscles. Last two. Imagine you're jumping for joy. Yeah! All right, hands to heart. Hands to hips. We're gonna walk it out. Sometimes I feel if I have my students do too much after those hip belt prayers, it's a little too much for them. So I like to at least get them to come back and then just do some hip circles in each direction, just to loosen things up. Think about the Tin Man and the Wizard of Oz when we needed oil. This is really the oil that we need. All right. So the figure four that we did before, that is your pigeon pose. Or if you're a little more advanced, you can do pigeon pose. We're going to come into a pigeon pose. So let's get down the right way. Inhale tall. And I'm going to exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, forward fold. And I'm going to clamp the hands and walk it up to downward dog. And I'm going to find my dog. So from here, bring that right leg into a little center. And I'm going to send that left leg up. And I'm going to turn my alarm off. Isn't that special? In the middle of my routine, huh? Well, there you go. So for pigeon, I'm going to remove this only because it's kind of see my body was doing this a little bit. It's just really comfortable when I live in it sometimes. Shameful to say in this quarantine day. All right, so we are in our downward dog, and I'm going to take my left leg up and notice how high it goes. Usually it goes up pretty high, but because my left side, my hips are so tight from sitting, the flexibility is not going to be there. And then take a notice of it after we're done with pigeon, how much it has in it. So it is a really great stretch. And again, you can do this in figure four as well. Okay? So inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan down. And walk it out to my downward dog. I'll take my left foot up and back. And then I'm going to bring my left knee in. Place it down. Stretch my right leg back. walk it out. You see how I was walking that out? And then right there at that last stretch where I feel it here, that's where I'm at. Now I'm going to adjust my hands. I'm going to adjust this. Chin should be parallel. And I'm just going to see how tight I am. Find my breath here. And each exhale is going to release a little bit more, and I'm going to be patient with it. And then if you need to put a blocker or a blanket under that left hip, do so. So my left leg is not parallel, but I need to make sure my right leg is straight. So I'm going to worry about my left leg getting parallel as it gets a little looser. And then I'm going to squeeze that pee and gas in and squeeze and come up. And I'm going to really tighten and breathe. Squeeze it in and up, really tighten those muscles. And then let everything go. Everything. Just open to melt. Now again, you can do the block. Caution here, make sure that left hip is not leaning down like this, okay? And you're like this. It's here. Straight leg. You can use the block as a pillow, you can massage. Try massaging those pressure points. Just remember, the longer the exhale, send the breath into this hip. Imagine it, massaging it. Make it face. Lengthening. Remember, if it's too much, come out of it. Take 2 more breaths and work your way out. Gently and slowly, the way you came in. Jump in, don't jump out. If it's too much for the knee, go into that figure 4. Feels amazing here on this temple and on this side. So apparently they're connected, and I'm just gonna let stuff go here. It's been hard to do because when you're not feeling good, you don't really want to move, and so things tend to get tight and locked up. So I've had to force myself to do these videos, which has been great because it's keeping me healthy and it's keeping my immune system from getting any worse. So, and in social distancing. So we're going to tuck those right toes, and I'm going to move things forward slowly. I'm going to unravel. And tuck the toes and come into a downward dog. I'm going to bring that left knee out like a dog in a hydrant, and I'm going to do some circles. I'm going to take that left knee over to the right. Watch the hands. You kind of tend to want to lean over like that. Make sure the hands are evenly distributed with weight. Keep that knee bent if you need to. And send that hip over just to know it feels comfortable. And then straighten out that leg, bring those hips back. Nice and easy, bring it in. Let's do the other side. Right leg's going to come up and back. We're going to bring that right knee in. Parallel. Send that left leg back. Take my time and get into my position. Not rushing. Definitely breathing. Now this is the knee that has just been scraping. So I'm going to take my time here. I feel my right hip is swinging along with the knee. But what's funny is when I bent it, the knee was turning. And as soon as I got into position, it went away and it was all in the hip. Now, if you have a pinched nerve, you'll feel numbing right away, so it may not be a good idea. You may need to sit on a bolster. The bolster can come here in the toe. I will show that on another video. and have a couple of students that have had to start there until they graduate. So we're going to walk it up, remember. Engage that P and gas. And squeeze it. And you'll see sometimes one side is like it's just not happening. Squeeze. Get past that. I want a quick stage. 2 more breaths. And exhale, bring it down. Carefully and controlled. Find that place to melt. It's amazing. I say amazing. We get so annoyed at the pigeons outside, but if we only really take a few minutes to get into their pose. And you know, you'll learn too in different videos, people have different names and different variations for everything. And really, you just have to find somebody that works best for you. Somebody you like, somebody that teaches you what you need. You know. All right, last 2 breaths. Carefully as you walk those hands in, lift up the chest on the inhale. Tuck the toes, bring forward. And roll. Gently press into that downward dog. Right knee out like a dog on a hydrant and giant circle. Breathing. And then take it on over. Breath it out. Nice and slow, straighten it out. Bring it down. Just drop to the knees in child's pose. Open and wide, with the belly and hips sink, and drop those. Just give gratitude to Mother Earth for holding our space today. Gratitude to your source for allowing you to be 6 feet above ground. Press it on up into a tabletop. So let's do a couple of cat and cows again here. See how we feel. Make sure you're rolling in and out. Really articulate through that spine. Not to crinkle the neck. And come to neutral. So we're going to do what's called, I think it's puppy pose. I've heard. I call it melting heart. So there's a couple of variations I like to show. This one's a little crazy though. Put my hair back. It's just not behaving. It really depends on where you are, and especially if we've been sitting doing one on Zoom, not going to reverse as much in our shoulders and chest. So tight shoulders and pecs. So if you can keep those hips stacked over the knees, that's fabulous. We're going to melt down to the forearms and separate the shoulders. Separate. And then I'm going to bring my chin and chest to the ground as my hands slide forward. I'm going to find a place for me to be. Keeping the pee and gas engaged, not dumping into the belly. So if you can't get all the way down, pluck here, here on the forehead. Make sure you're not like this, right? You want to be here, or you want to be here, or you want to be here. You want to get that curve here. Watch that neck. You don't want to be here. You want to engage in those arms, protecting that neck. Block is just there as a guide. It shouldn't keep the neck up or anything, okay? And then from here, let's just slide those legs up. Lengthen those legs up. I'm going to bring chest up and place my hands on top of each other and rest the forehead. Big breaths in and out. Bend those feet. Wriggle side to side. And do a little chest opener. So again, this really depends on you and your chest and your ability to extend that spine. So I like to walk the legs. I like to tuck the toes and lift the leg and pull the leg away from the hip to get some length in my legs. If you see one leg longer than the other, I'll do the same to the right, and now do the same leg. So sometimes we don't think about adjusting the body. So I'm going to bring the hands under the shoulders. This is baby cobra. And I'm going to squeeze my elbows into my chest. Now I'm going to press my legs into the mat, squeezing my glutes, pressing my hips into the mat. I'm going to pull my belly button in though. Pulling the belly button in towards the spine helps that spine not to compress, okay? So from here, I'm going to inhale and exhale. I'm going to pull my shoulders back, slide them down my shoulders, and extend my neck out like a turtle. Oh, turtle. Like it's not what's happening. Now, I don't want to do this like, I just want to be long. Breathe. Breathe, press into those legs. Big breath and exhale. Right ear comes down and rests. Now, if your head is like this, really below the shoulders, there's a couple of options. I'm going to roll up my shirt because I don't have that far to go. And I'm just going to place it into my forehead. And then my neck is long. If it's too much, just turn the ears down. If you want to bring the hands down towards the hips, do so. Just breathe. I feel the need for my sweatshirt today. And I'll tell you why, because I felt it back here with my head dropping too low. I feel pressure on this left side. So that's a no. That means my head is way too heavy for my body right now. It's like, F you, get that support, woman. So there it is, no more pressure. Anyhow, we just don't listen to the body. You would have, normally I would have felt it down here and thought, why did I do it like that? Okay, let's bring the hands back underneath the shoulders and lift up. Pull the belly button into the spine. Remember, keep that there. Okay. This is Sphinx pose. I don't ever say it right. My kids make fun of me, but have children. All right. So elbows underneath the shoulders, and we're going to reach those fingers out. And I kind of want to do like a kitty grip, like, oh, yeah, and I kind of want to grab into the ground. And then I'm going to point my toes and reach the toes further away, pull the belly button in. And as I inhale, blowing up the balloon, I'm going to exhale like somebody has a magnet in my chest, pulling it through using those fingers. I'm going to pull the chest through, shoulders slide down my back of the rib cage, breathing. Last breath. And then just bring it on down. Hands come back, release, breathe. And again with this little support. So the things that I do notice in yoga is the slower I move, the longer I take my exhales and inhales, the more opening poses I do, the more relaxed I feel, the healthier I feel. And that's important, mind, body, and soul right in these days. So we're going to do one last opener. So there's a couple of variations. This is called swimming. I'm going to do what's called seal because I like seal. So I'm going to take the legs out wide. We'll talk about my favorite first, and then if you guys want to see the other ones, we'll talk about that. Just make me a comment. All right, hands out to the side. Elbows are going to stay bent, but I just don't want to lift up in my low back. I want to make sure I squeeze that pee and gas in, and then press my hands in. Lengthen through the feet, lengthen through the neck. Breathing in and out. Shoulders down. This is pug. Hi, pug. Last breath. Down. I know I said one last one, but I'm going to show you one more. Put those hands down alongside the hips. Bring those legs back together if possible, or leave them where it's comfortable. Breath. Oh, need my pillow. Funny, it's getting lower, but that's okay. My body just needed that little support. So this time, if possible, we're going to bring the hands back behind our waist and interlock the hands and let the elbows drop down. That may be good enough for you. You may be going, oh my God, is she crazy? You know what you can do too is you can hook onto that shirt, the back of your pants. Yeah, I know they're here somewhere. You can hook onto the back of your pants just to open up the shoulders. Okay, so there's plenty of variations that you can do. Just find the space that works for you. So let's just hook those hands together and allow the elbows to fall. And then with the forehead down on the mat or on your pillow, you're going to bring those legs together a little longer. Press them into the mat, PPS, squeeze, belly button in. We're going to inhale and then exhale, lift the head and chest. See if you can take those arms down towards your tailbone. Breathe. And exhale, bring it back. Turn the head to the opposite direction. Relax the arms, breathe. Inhale. And exhale, lift it up. Send those arms back. Press the belly button up into the spine. You can lift those toes if you feel like it. You don't have to. And then exhale, bring that left ear down. Now, if you feel brave, on the inhale and exhale, we're going to bend the legs. So inhale, exhale as you straighten those arms, lifting the head, bend those legs, kick in twice. And then lower it down, opposite. Bring this up. Little coordination, inhale and exhale. Inhale, other side. Exhale, bring it up. Other side. To get some rotation. It's too much to do the legs. Just lift up with the shoulders. That's it. You notice my hands don't come off my back. That's how tight my traps are. How tight my pecs are. That's okay. Someday they'll lift up. They did before. All right, let's reach those hands down, relax. Bring those arms up gently underneath the forehead. Bring those legs, knees into windshield wiper those feet. Okay. All right, nice and easy. We're going to bring it on up. And sit it on down. So the most important part about yoga is finding a place to just really relax and rest. So laying down into corpse pose is what we call savasana, dead man's pose. And remember to hook on and roll down. Just finding a place where you can just lay quietly and just allow the body to just revel in all that movement. Making sure that you're breathing fully and exhaling completely. And just letting the body just release into the ground. Stay here for as long as you need. Make sure you take a few exhales to settle into the mat. Soften the breath. Allow the forehead to release, soften. Allow the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Allow the shoulders to just fall down out of the ears. Just what you need. Use those fingertips longer in those legs and allow the hips and just back. Breathe in, breathe into every cell of your body. And as you breathe out of every cell. Keeping your eyes closed. Dance when you're broken, open. Dance if you're torn the bandage off. Dance in the middle of fighting. Dance in your blood. Dance in your perfectly free. Magic has always been within you. So just dance. There's no rush for moving. Keep your eyes closed. Stay where you are. If you feel like moving, you can wiggle the fingers and toes. You can roll onto one side. You like it? You still feel like rocking that head from side to side? Don't, please don't do so. If you do feel like moving and you roll onto one side, fetal position, stay there for 3 grounding breaths. Releasing whatever else you need to release. Restoring whatever else you need to restore. And renewing whatever it is you need to renew. Light inside of me is honored. And the doors and light inside of you. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and like and share. God bless each and every one of you. Be safe. Namaste.